Hi, Rational Roundtable. This is Dark Tango 78, continuing the discussion on the many faces of God. Thank you for the quick reply and for elaborating on your position. I've prepared an elaboration of my own, clarifying some of my points and addressing those new ones which you brought up. I'll jump right in. The claim that you put forward originally is that the world's major religions are partial observations of something. Now, if I had to aggregate that something, it would be more or less an unseen, personal, super-powerful, intelligent creator. That's the common denominator in theism, as far as I can tell, and there's not much else you can say about him given the variance in religions. My claim, and I think a pretty standard atheistic claim, is that there simply isn't sufficient consistency in observations to warrant the belief in anything sufficiently solid, crisp, or well-defined. You mentioned that atheists believe that any and all spiritual experiences are delusional. I can't speak for all atheists, but that's not what I believe, mostly because I think that spiritual and enlightenment are too nebulous and ill-defined a word to really warrant that conclusion. For example, enlightenment can mean an accurate and lasting understanding of reality, and I would have no problem with this. Delusional is a bit of a loaded term. In daily use, it has insulting connotations. However, as I understand it, it simply means holding an unwarranted and mistaken belief and acting upon it. Is it really that hard to believe that most people on the planet are dead wrong, quote-unquote, about something? To use a cliché example, at some point, everyone on the planet believed that the sun went around the earth, and they were wrong. From my perspective, the verifiable observations of psychology and neuroscience, etc., and the explanations that we are familiar with as to how this belief could arise are more than adequate. They not only explain the commonalities in the religious beliefs, but also accounts for their discrepancies. Does this explanation disprove the existence of God? No, but what it does do, as I see it, is make the belief unwarranted. As we've agreed, a valid explanation of all observations with less entities is to be preferred. As I see it, in order to warrant a transition from the atheistic stance to this belief that all religions are partial but accurate observations of a real God, you would have to provide two things. 1. Something specifically unaccountable by the atheistic stance that is accountable by the Deity, thus warranting its introduction. And 2, somehow account for why such a powerful intelligence has such trouble communicating with his creation, since you're claiming that, in all cases, at least some of the message is correct. After all, it's not an inanimate object. He wants to be known.